Hey guys, welcome to the final Sonic. Not Sonic. Hey guys, welcome to the final Sonic After the Sequel video. This part, well, this is the extra video that I said I was going to do, and the editing is going to be a little jumpy because I'm going to be playing some of these special stages as Sonic and some of them as Tails. Not special stages, extra stages. This is the special mode. I'm not going to show off everything in it, but I will be showing off these 10 special levels. Yes, on top of everything else in the game, you got all this extra content. You unlock these stages by collecting these star rings, or whatever you want to call them, that are sporadically hidden throughout the other levels. This is basically what would happen to, dang it, what was it? Horizon Heights, if Robotnik's plan came to fruition and he just messed up the weather everywhere. And all of these stages are going to be like this. They're basically reworked, kind of retooled versions of stages we've already been to here and there. Just, you know, given this kind of makeover and given some new challenges, some new platforming ideas. And I'm gonna be honest, not all of these level designs are that great. Some of them actually kind of suck. It's like, in some cases, it's like, oh, well, we may as well leave this out. And in other cases, like, oh, this is a really good idea, but we couldn't really find anywhere in the level to put it, so we'll just squeeze it into these extra levels. I mean, I like that, because there are some extra levels that I actually really like. It's just that some of them are really, kind of dumb. This one's alright. And just so you know how I'll be doing this, I'll be playing all of the, like, odd stages as Tails and all the even stages as Sonic. And I'm going to be going through all the stages that Sonic wasn't in as Sonic, and all the ones that Tails wasn't in as Tails. At least, like, past this one. We'll see. So anyway, yeah, those enemies are so annoying. I have a few things I need to address in this video, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about each of these 10 stages that we go to, but I'm not going to be talking that much about them. I'm also going to be talking about some things I just need to get out of the way, and since this is the last time I'm going to be making one of these videos, I may as well. Anyway, yeah, I do like some of these platforming challenges, but some of them are just really, really messy, like even messier than Sonic CD. But whatever, just, you know, it's extra content, and they don't force you to play through this stuff. It's just there if you're that dedicated to unlocking this stuff. But anyway. Oh yeah, you may have noticed, this tune, it's very reminiscent of Ice Cap. It's like a remix of it. I don't really hear that much of Horizon Heights' own music in it. Thanks for that boost level, buddy. I just think it's really fitting that they squeezed something like an Ice Cap remix somewhere in here just to make a good first impression, like, oh, these levels are all wintry versions of the levels you've already been to. It seems like a silly idea, but considering it's basically like a what-if thing, like, what if Robotnik actually won? You know, I'm okay with it. Anyway, some things I need to get out of the way. One, I don't do LPs very often. And the next one I plan to do, the next one that I know I am definitely going to do at some point, is a Freedom Planet LP. When that game is finished and when it's sold on Steam, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna play it. Anyway, like I said, the editing is pretty jumpy. Anyway, we're playing through Sugar Splash Zone as Sonic, since we played through it as Tails. Now this right here, it's basically just a retooled version of Act 1. You know, it's one of those levels where there's just no hiding it. In some of these special levels, they manage to mix it up and make the level design different enough that it does kind of feel like a completely new place, but not in all of them. And this is the one of the ones where you get a sense of deja vu, like, hey, I've already been here before. I guess the main gimmick here is that it's really storming and it's constantly raining, and all this sugar is just leaking out, and now you've got these sugar waterfalls just everywhere. But hey, it's a gimmick that I actually like, so yeah, I got no problem with it. I'm going through all of these special stages. Not showing off everything, not showing off the boss rush mode or whatever, because you've already seen the bosses. But, you know, I will be going through these. That section is pretty tricky if you don't have a bubble shield. Oh, and the music. A lot of the music you'll be hearing in these special zones is, well, they're made to sound like something you would hear on the Genesis, and some of them fit in very, very well with the kind of music you'd hear in Sonic 1 or 2. I already love the melodies of so many of these tunes, so to hear them composed like this, to sound all twang, you know, it's just so fitting to me. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, Freedom Planet. I'm hoping that LP will turn out even better than this because, well, it runs on DirectX, which means that it's going to be so much easier to record it with fraps instead of having to half-ass it with something like Camtasia, where I couldn't even have the headphones plugged in. I needed to record it with an external mic. Ugh. But anyway, what was I going to say next? Another thing I need to get out of the way. I'm sorry that I haven't been making many reviews lately. It's like the last one I made was the Dust review, and I've been busy with other things, including this LP. And it's not just these other videos, you know, I'm a DeviantArt guy. I'm a YouTuber second, and I spend a lot more time making comics for my DA page, just every day that I can, making new and new pages. I know that some of you aren't interested in that stuff, and you rather would I just make videos here and completely forget about the comics, but I do have an idea for a comic I want to try to sell someday. So that's why I'm always making these other comics, to practice for that, because I am constantly improving little by little, and I feel that if I just stay dedicated to this, if I just keep drawing endlessly, then I will hopefully eventually be able to make some money off of something. Not with a fan fiction or whatever. The fan fiction I'm making is really just a way for me to practice, you know. But I don't intend to become some YouTube celebrity, you know, I don't want to become internet famous. I'm not going to try to make a career out of AdSense from YouTube videos. I'm going to try to really make something. So I'm sorry, but that's why I'm not so dedicated to making videos as I maybe once used to be, because it's not just about fun for me anymore, guys. It's just that I've got other priorities, other things to do. Now another thing, I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to finish this video. I recorded the footage of Tails like weeks ago, and I just recorded Sonic's footage a couple days ago. No, wait, it's the other way around. I recorded Sonic's footage weeks ago, and I just recently recorded Tails' footage. I've just been really busy with summer stuff. You know, I've been going to visit family, and I've been trying to squeeze in time for my art and stuff, and I just finally went, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna like take a day off from all this stuff and just, you know, work on this video. I was going to split it into 2 parts, but I said, you know what, whatever, I'll just make it 1 part, just have this be the big extra video. I was thinking for a while that maybe I'd try to find someone who could guest star in it, but then I thought, nah, you know, I'll just do it the same way I've done the other ones and just sum up my final thoughts in this video. I'm sorry I'm talking about all of this random stuff instead of Sonic, but, you know, I've already talked about all the levels that these places are based on. Oh yeah, I may as well talk a little bit about this act. Yeah, we were here as Sonic last time. This is basically a retooled version of Act 3 of Science City. You can probably tell because it has the spiked ball in the air gimmick that I loved oh so much last time. But anyway, it's an alright act. I do think this is one of the better special levels. It's not, one thing I don't like about some of these is that they're horribly linear, which is very odd to say for a 2D game. But there really are some points where you're just trapped going along a certain path and it doesn't open up into any other ones. Which is kind of strange to me, if only because some of the levels in this game are very, just huge, up and down and everywhere. Like the later acts of Horizon Heights. What the heck? Anyway. So what was I going to say next? Oh yeah, I'm also sorry that I haven't gotten any of these videos up on Rage Play commentaries yet. I know, I never expected it to take this long. I was going to do it like a month or so ago, with like the first 4 parts in one night, but we just couldn't find a good night to do it, and I just haven't done a very good job staying in contact with those guys on top of everything else that I'm up to. But I am going to try to get this done soon, because I have like the first 4 videos uploaded on their channel, their Raw channel, and we gotta do the commentary sometime. And I'm just sorry that it, along with other things, is just taking so very long. Anyway, I guess that's all I can really say about all that stuff, about the reviews and what I've been up to lately and summer and all that. I'm going to try to focus more on the usual reviews and whatnot that people know me for. I don't have anything like playing with fire to get out of the way. I can just focus on that now. Though, before I make any reviews, I do have one last really big project to show, which I'm going to be working on as a collaboration with a certain someone whose username, or the actual name, I mispronounced horribly recently. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh, I love this remix of Science City's music. very, very cool. Like I said, I love the melodies of so many of the tunes in this game. They're very memorable, very punchy, and for a while in the main story mode, I couldn't help thinking, you know, I wonder how great these would sound if they were composed to fit on a Genesis game. And what do you know? Most of them do sound really great. Not all of them are remixed like this, but a good chunk of them are. And I love the sound of all these tunes. They just make me bop my head with joy. So yeah, not much else to say about this act. It's really just Act 3 all over again. It really is neat that they managed to squeeze all this in there, because they could have just left it with the acts that were in the story mode, but Link Prepare just didn't think that was enough, and he just threw these other zones in there. So if you think about it, let's see, there's 27 acts already in the story mode, minus the final boss and Dream Dance. The final boss is Dream Dance. So then you add these other 10, you've got just about 40 levels. That is nuts! Just so much content in this game that all you need is something like WinRAR or 7-Zip to open. You don't need to pay for it or anything. It's just a pure labor of love, and Hey, Mighty. Anyway, like I keep saying a couple times already, the editing of this video is going to be kinda jumpy. Honestly, I couldn't understand what was the point of the last level we were in. It was just Science City at night. I didn't really notice any weird weather effects. I didn't see any snow anywhere. Whatever. In this level you can see kind of a weird effect. You've got this mist everywhere, which I guess isn't so bad, mist is really nice. It can help things grow. There are some places where you'll have mist every morning, but it just kind of fades out as the day goes on and the sun gets higher in the sky. But I don't know, this might be like a blizzard in the making. If there is one thing I absolutely love about this zone, I already love the music of Foliage Furnace, but this tune right here is absolutely lovely. Oh, and this right here, this is a display of stupid level design. As you know, I like that gimmick, but wait, what am I supposed to do here? Oh, I get it. In order to touch the spring, I have to hurt myself. And it's nice that they threw a ring in there, so you don't freaking die. But still, that's a stupid way to, penalize the player. And I am so glad this didn't appear in the actual story mode. I'm willing to tolerate it only because it's in an extra act with it. These extra acts are, just mishmashes of all these random ideas, some of which are good, and some of which are not so good. But that right there was a stupid level design choice. If that was in the story mode, that would have been really cringeworthy for me. I would have been thinking are you shitting me, game? But whatever. Anyway, one thing I absolutely love about this act is the music. You can just hear this really gentle, soothing, wooing sort of noise in the background. Man. It's just that sort of thing is just so relaxing to me. And I'm not sure if we'll be in this act long enough to hear that tune loop again. But if it does get to that point again, I'll just let it play. I'll shut up for a moment. Okay, I can still do this. I can still... Yeah, yeah, sorry to say this is not a no-death run. I do die a couple of times in these acts. I guess it's just that after being the story mode, I no longer felt like I had to be, so worried about my performance. You know what, I beat the game. It was an okay Let's Play. It's okay if I just kind of slack off with these acts. So I do die a couple of times. Sorry if my performance isn't quite up to par with what you guys want, but whatever. So yeah, that's just another thing about the editing. I'm gonna have to edit out a few deaths. But whatever, I don't mind. I beat the game. I'm just doing this extra bit for fun and just to get some things off my chest. Oh, this is it. This is right here. Listen! It's gonna get even better in a sec. I just love this tune. It is so... It's so sentimental and heartfelt sounding. It's a kind of nostalgic music you'd hear in... This isn't something you could hear in a Chow garden. It's just so lovely. As if I didn't already love the music before, They have the music in these extra acts that blows me away, really. I understand that not everybody likes this soundtrack. Some people actually find it kind of bland, to my surprise. I don't know, I can't really think of anything wrong with it. The soundtrack is my favorite part of this game. I actually love this game. I like a lot of things about it, but I cannot drive it home enough that the music is just so great, and there's only so many ways I can say it. Anyway, this is the extra act for Techno Tree. As you can see, this place is very different. And the music is kind of strange. It's like you got some noises that sound like something from a Genesis game, but then it sounds a little more like, well, it sounds like a tune from Sonic CD. In fact, it's got a bit of a tune from Sonic CD remixed and put in there. You'll hear it in a little bit. But anyway, this is one of the most linear acts in the entire game. This is one of those where you're just trapped going down a certain path, and it can be pretty painstaking. Tell me you don't recognize that beat. For a moment I thought I was actually going inside that tube and not just behind it. But anyway, this level is kind of odd in that while the other acts of Techno Tree, like Acts 2 and 3, they tended to be very open for a while, but then they would funnel you down a certain track when you were getting near the end and you started being chased by those flying saucers. This is like exactly the opposite. As soon as another saucer appears, the level is going to open up and we're just going to have a lot of ways to get to the end and escape it. And I actually really like that. I like that it's not chasing us just one way. I do think it's kind of odd, but hey, it's something different. It's not just like the other acts we've already been to. And I do really like the scenery. Oh, right there, these things. I'm so glad to be playing this as Tails because it makes these platforms with the blue marks on them so much easier to get off of. Because if I was Sonic and one of those was slanted too far, I would be stuck there. I'd be fighting against the slope and against the physics to just climb back over the other side of it to squeeze through. But as Tails, it's so much easier. I will say that even though I appreciate them trying to use the physics in interesting ways for platforming gimmicks and all that, I do admit that with gimmicks like that, it could have been handled a lot better. These things, they are such a pain to have to get around on as Sonic. Anyway, now we're being chased by one of the flying saucers. Ah, what a dick. Well, dang. I left this chunk in after I died just because I wanted to go down that slope again. So yeah, these things, I don't know, it's just an interesting, innovative platforming gimmick, but still pretty inefficient. Whatever. Yeah, it's like a lot of things in this game. A lot of things that, kudos for trying something different and neat, but these things are just really, how do I say it, really robust. Rough around the edges. Not that refined. It's a lot more refined than Sonic before the sequel, like the physics and everything feel pretty spot on. It's just, it's not, it's not perfect. It's far from perfect. But I still find it enjoyable enough to keep coming back to play it. Really like this music. I admit it's a very, very odd pick, and it doesn't sound very much like Techno Tree's music at all, but whatever, it's still cool. Dang it. I keep thinking that I'm probably gonna die again and again, but no, I'm on my last life, so of course I don't die here. Anyway, you see how much harder this would be if I was Sonic and I couldn't just fly over those after I had tilted them to make a gap for me to go through. Anyway, almost done with this act. But yeah, it gets pretty crazy once this thing shows up. How far are we? Oh, there we go. There's the end of the level. I like how, I still think it's weird that these lights are floating around, because at first, in the regular acts, I thought that they were just fireflies or something, but now I can't help wondering, what, does it have something to do with the snow? Why is it snowing from side to side? What is causing this? But whatever. I really do love just the sense of scale of these massive trees and pipes give you in the background, and the snow just adds to it. Yeah, just so much of it. I mean, this is like this is my favorite zone in the entire game. This act, not so much, but it's still alright. Damn, I went hard. Another act to beat. So yeah, with that, we're halfway through this part. Halfway, we're done with these zones. And now we're going to play another one as Sonic, another level that we only got to play as Tails before. And this right here is one of my least favorite acts. This one, there is no hiding that it is clearly Act 3 of Moon Mansion. They hardly did anything to change it. It has some interesting little platformy sections, but it's mostly just copied and pasted pillars and whatnot. You know, it feels more like a typical level maker kind of level. I'm kind of glad that this was left out of the story mode, but hey, what the heck? Oh, they couldn't even take this out of level. Yeah, whatever. Again, not much has really changed. It's basically just Moon Mansion in the daytime. Well, at least there's snow on the mountains in the background. I have to admit, it is really, really nice. And I do think it's interesting that they included one act that took place during the daytime, because, you know, this place was obviously inspired by the Mansion level from Sonic Heroes. And at the very end of the second act of that zone, you're like outside the castle again, and it's daytime. So I do think it's neat that they did, I guess, a little homage to that. There's a lot of neat little subtle homages to games like Sonic Heroes, and one thing I do really like is the music. I think the music here is very, very laid back. It feels like something you'd hear in Moon Mansion, but it's not like trying to creep me out. Yeah, I mean, wow, that timing was perfect. How perfect that we get to this more ambient, aquatic sounding part of the song just as soon as we hit the water. I swear, some of this stuff is just calculated to play at just the right time. Anyway, yeah, it's a pretty chill level. It's not as intense as the other acts of Moon Mansion. Again, it's alright. It's not really all that cool. It's not like these stages are really all that special, like way better than the actual acts in the story mode. But, you know, whatever. It's extra content. It's more of the game to play. And it's the kind of thing that you can at least try out once. I do like that you can bounce off one of those ghouls that's on the bottom there. You know, I've already run out of things to say in this act. This act is actually quite bland. But whatever. Yeah, that's just another thing. I thought it would take more time to talk about how my life is going at the moment and about my reviews of it. That was weird. Yeah, I keep saying that, whatever. I've basically run out of things to talk about by now. Oh yeah. I know I already talked about this a little bit in the previous part, but I just love Sonic's model here. I love how he's the cool, deep shade of blue that he was in Sonic 3, but he's got the more cheerful look that he had in Sonic 1 and 2. And I think his spines are just the right length and everything. Oh, right here. I do die in this bit. I'm mainly showing how, strangely, this fight seems to have something wrong with it when you're playing as Sonic. He's much more prone to getting hit just from touching this thing. I don't know why, but I get the feeling that when I was playing as Tails, I didn't have to worry so much about dying from touching that thing when it was firing the laser. Like, even if it was firing the laser, I'm pretty sure you could still hit the robot itself. But for some reason, as Sonic, you can't do that. Oh well, just for like showing it off. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, I clearly beat it. And I'm almost done with this stage. I just love that just the bells in the background. Huh. Another act done. Now this is one of my favorite extra acts. And it's, well, as you can probably guess, it's because of the music. So apparently hell has frozen over. And yeah, how fitting, considering this is supposed to be like a winter version of the level. Like, here's what would happen here if robotics plan succeeded. I do think it's kind of odd since you'd think this would be one of the hottest places of all, but dang, listen to that music! I'm bobbing my head as we speak. I mean, as I speak, whatever. Like I've said before, these remixes of these acts, they could easily fit in a good old school Sonic game. And this tune especially, just the beat of it, it is so just jive. It's so rad. I know you guys don't say words like that anymore, but seriously, this is one of my favorite tunes in the whole game right here. I keep saying right here. You know, it's something really strange I notice about guys like Kaban and Manny. They feel the need to add little things like right here and whatnot to the end of all their sentences, being so specific about every little thing. And, oh, this is a nice touch right here. Since Tails can't use the, you know, the extra abilities of the fire shield, he can just whoosh right up there. But anyway, like I was saying, it's weird how when you're caught up in doing something like this, an LP like this, you can't help feeling kind of pressured to add little things to all your sentences to, like it makes you sound smarter or something. And there are some people who can't help talking that way all the time in real life. And I'm not saying anything against Kobana Manny for talking this way in some of his LPs, for fluffing up what he says with extra words at the end of his sentences and all that. I mean, I'm doing the same thing right now. For some reason, I'm like having such a hard time coming up with things to say that I feel the need to like extend everything I say and just talk unnecessarily. But whatever, it's just a thing for guys doing LPs, I guess. Anyway, again, I absolutely love this tune. It is just so... It's just got such a great beat. It's simple, and it's just strong, and it's a little repetitive, but it's the kind of thing that really gets you tapping your foot, it gets your blood pumping, it gets you bobbing your head, and it just feels so good. And out of all the tunes that were composed to sound like something from an old school Sonic game, I think they did the best job with this. I think this made the transition from quote-unquote real music to Genesis music better than any of the other tunes. Ah, man. And the X's over just like that. Oh well, I'm trying to get through this reasonably quickly. And yeah, Perillian Peak. This is odd. This place that already was a very cold climate has been ripped open, and yeah, it's just a catastrophe. And if you look at the next level, it'll kind of make sense why. I think that even if the storm station completed its function, even if it worked, I think it still winds up crashing onto Perillian Peak, or at the bottom of it, and just ruins the whole place. This is just, it's destroyed. The earth has been torn open. It's just, everything is scorched. It's crazy. I think it's neat that the fire level was turned into an ice level, and the ice level has been turned into a fire level. Nice subversion of the tropes there, especially considering this was already a winter level, so they had to do something to change it if, like, Robotnik's machine hit. Anyway. I do think it's odd to think that even if Robotnik won and screwed up the world, his storm station would just crash anyway. And yeah, I love doing that. I'm so glad I kept that power up until that point in the level so I could pay that thing back for being such a stupid gimmick enemy thing. Hey. So yeah, we get to use Sonic's special Kirby power again, and if we were playing as Tails, we'd be able to use his as well. But there are two paths. You can go along one path as Sonic with his ability, and you can go along the other as Tails with his special ability. And they wouldn't be able to go along the same path. One is made just for Sonic, and only he can go along it, and the other is made for Tails, and only he can go along that with his Kirby power. But I am pretty sure that both paths do join up at one point, and then you just go along the same road for the rest of the level. You just begin it in two different ways as Sonic and Tails. I do think that's pretty interesting. Yeah, again, it's just something different. The way I look at levels like this is they're just an experiment. If you look at the background real closely, you can see that there are channels of lava flowing out to the ocean. And you can even see Angel Island in the ocean having landed. Kind of screwed up, but it's a neat look at what would have happened and just how severe things would have gotten if Robotnik won. And this again goes into like why I think he made a Death Egg in the first place, so that he could basically just mess up the world and not have to worry about his own hide. He could just be nice and cozy inside his spaceship, like the people in the movie Elysium that's coming out. Speaking of which, what is with those Alex Jones guys saying this is propaganda? If it was condoning that sort of thing, if it was saying, this is how the world should be, then yeah, it would be propaganda, but no, that's what we're supposed to avoid. The people on Elysium are the bad guys. You know, I thought this was a Sonic video. I gotta get back to talking about Sonic. I just had a very strange day today. So anyway, yeah, Robotnik is safe aboard the Death Egg, and You can just watch the world burn. I do think it's neat how since all the embers are flowing that way, if you're running to the left fast enough, you can kind of catch up with them, and they just seem to look kind of static on screen. Using these half-bouncer things as platforms is an interesting idea, and yeah, what is with these giant, fiery Cocoa Puffs? Kind of a strange idea, just these things suspended like that. But whatever, you know, it's a neat experimental level. Kudos for just trying something different. They could have just left it with the main game, but no, he wanted to cram all of his ideas into the game in some form or another. And just give me more time to talk about this solid game that I really, really like. Anyway. Ow. I'm surprised that I didn't lose the Kirby power when getting hit by those guys. Well, whatever, lucky break for me. It's so satisfying to destroy those things, since they're like so hard to destroy without this Kirby power. Oh yeah, I really like the beat of this. Okay, I think Act 1's music is my favorite out of all of Perillian Peaks acts. But, you know, I understand that probably would have been a more difficult tune to remix in this style. So I do think that for what it's worth, they did a great job remixing Act 2's music. Because it does sound very reminiscent of the sort of thing you'd hear in a Genesis game or in Sonic CD. And it's just really swell. And we're done. Only a couple acts left. We are near the end of this video, as I'm almost done talking about Sonic after the sequel. So yeah, again, good graphics, good gameplay, good platforming, good music. Holy crap. Okay, yeah, it's weird. The visuals of this place, we're seeing things from Perillian Peaks, so yeah, this just reinforces my theory that this place did crash, except it crashed in a more populated area and had much more disastrous effects. Anyway, it's an okay act. It's nothing special, but it's alright. One thing I love about it is, of course, the music. Oh my gosh, this remix is just so good. That said, you know, as amazing as this music is, as head-bangingly good as it is, as much as I love it, I do wish they could have squeezed Act 2 in there, you know? This tune's alright, but Act 2 is like my favorite tune. And I really, if they had to pick one or the other, I really wish they had done a remix of that tune instead. Oh well, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too, you can't win them all. This tune's alright. I just wish they also threw the other one in there. Well, how about that? Now my life is complete. Oh man, just a little go! How crazy is that? That this weird electro house, whatever you want to call it, that a tune like this can so easily be appropriate for a Genesis Sonic game. Ah man, this is just brilliant. I love that they managed to include both tunes in there. They knew that guys like me wouldn't have enough for the first tune. They know, no, there are guys who love the second tune. We gotta throw that in there. And they did. And thank you guys for that. Ah, this is just so awesome. It really is just, it's pleasure for my ears. And we're back with the first act's music again. So yeah, this level is just more or less a mishmash of everything that we saw in the previous 3 acts. Oh, and here before I finish the level, I wanted to demonstrate what happens to Tails with this gravity-reducing gimmick. Yeah, you don't see it so much here, but there were certain parts of the earlier acts where if I was playing as Tails and I was flying, I would just be suspended in the air and I might never make it down. Which almost happened to me once. I don't know how I finally did manage to get down, but it's just kind of a crazy gimmick, and you're better off playing through this stage as Sonic. But since we already did play through it as Sonic, I thought, like, I might as well surprise you by playing through it as Tails. You know, we're subverting everything that we've seen throughout the rest of the LP. So yeah, like I said, just a random mishmash of all these gimmicks from throughout the 3 acts of the actual Storm Station stage. I think it's alright for what it is. Man, there's just something depressing about seeing Angel Island in the ocean like that. Just knowing that you messed up. Anyway, since we're seeing a lot of visuals from Pirelli and Peak, and it's kind of a mishmash of both zones, that's just my theory about what happened. No matter what we did, the storm station was going to crash and burn. This is a good thing that we stopped it before it could have, carried out its intended function and done as much damage as Robotnik always wanted to. This is a nice what-if scenario. And it's time for the final act. So what is this last level going to be? What is the last place we're going to see in Sonic after the sequel? Why, we're going back to Foliage Furnace. Yeah, very strange. This is the only zone that had 2 of those coins in it, and 2X. I'm okay with them adding that, because Act 2 was very different than the first and third acts. In this act, we see this gimmick used, even overused. It is just everywhere. And I like the gimmick. It's very satisfying. And, well, it's just having 5 separate stages where you end up using this gimmick. That is pushing it just a little bit. But whatever. This is just a collection of all these gimmicks from the previous actual acts, including the Donkey Kong Country-esque barrels. And dang, this music is crazy. Look, I understand that there are some people who will never be able to stand the sound of, like, Genesis game music or Super Nintendo music or whatever, but Genesis especially, because it's quote-unquote ear rape. Because the sounds are just so harsh that it's hard to enjoy. It's not quite that way for me, but I can understand where people are coming from. This tune, although I do still like it oddly enough, is one of the few cases where it is just painful on the ears. You'll hear it in a little bit, but anyway, I gotta beat this part. I'm gonna make it through this part as Sonic. I know I said it was really hard before, like back in part 4, but I can do it! You see how they fake you out? They make it so it's pretty much impossible to avoid hitting that bandit prematurely. And if you're set on... Fuck it. We're going the lower route. Good God. Anyway, like I was saying, the music of this act is just zany. It is just bonkers. I still like it. I don't think it's a bad tune, but they definitely went all out with the whole synthesize kind of feel. Ow, dang it. Could have taken out that last one, but I don't know, for some reason, I guess I was just feeling merciful that time. Either that or I was just in a hurry, because I'd already been playing this game for so long. Hey, we're seeing a lot of these barrels now, just kind of spamming it, but whatever. Anyway, this is the last time we're gonna see Sonic after the sequel. I've only got, like, what, a minute or so left? Man, it's just kind of crazy thinking that we're already almost done. It's been kind of a long journey. But whatever, we're near the end, guys. It's been fun. It's been a good LP. I've enjoyed it. I'm glad some of you have enjoyed it. And I guess that's all I can really say for myself. Just been a fun LP, and I know I don't do LPs that often. And I can't, like, juggle that with reviews and everything else. But for those of you who would say things like, "What has happened to you, man?" Well, nothing has happened to me. Not really. But anyway, this is it, guys. We're in the last stretch, the last few seconds of this game. I've been saying it again and again. Good graphics, good level design, cool creative ideas that were at least worth trying out. Cool music. I love Sonic's design, everything. I like the story. I like everything about this game. That's it, guys. That's Sonic after the sequel. We're all done. See you at Rage Play sometime later. I guess that's that. Thanks for joining me for this LP, guys. Till next time. Doodles.